thank you, Eric, and it's great to be here. This is my third year here, and actually, every year, the last couple of years, I've struggled to make it here at 9 a.m. on a Monday. So it's great that I made it here. I was wise and I got in last night, but I'm with Gate Group or Gate Gourmet out of Northern Virginia. We are an airline services company, and we have deployed SD-WAN for about the last 5 years. So we're an early adopter of the technology, and we continue to see the strengths of the solution, and it's just transformed the way we work. So I think it's important that we start with security. As over the years that we've had this deployed, we've seen how important it is that security is integrated into SD-WAN. So really, what I'm going to attempt to do here is tell you a little bit about ourselves, about our SD-WAN deployment, and then I'll go into really the key pieces around security. So we talk about a security-empowered SD-WAN, and that's really, it's key to looking at this, right? It's one, I think we all have instances where we've deployed technology, which is great, but you get all these features, you get all these capabilities, and then later on you realize that, oops, security is an issue. You know, I've enabled services, I've put features out there. However, one way or another, I didn't think about security. It should not be an afterthought. It should be first and foremost when you go into this. So really, that's a key piece. That's a key message. Real simple message. I'll keep it interactive. I'll keep it open. But that's pretty much the way we're going to go with this. So I'll go ahead and start. And if I could work this. Perfect, good. So a little bit about us. So we do airline catering and retail on board. We're the global leader in that space. We are headquartered out of Zurich, Switzerland. And basically, simple way to think of it is you sit in a plane, you see those trucks that come up with the food, that's who we are. So primarily, most of what we do is that. But because we are tied into the airline systems, we will do pretty much a lot of other things for the airlines. Retail on board, for the most part nowadays, you get on a plane, you're paying for your snack box or whatever it is. We provide solutions to do that. We do the full cycle, or we could provide software that actually enables us to do that. And we're pretty global. We are in over 60 countries, about 200 units, and we do about 700 million passengers annually. So think of your major airports, LaGuardia, JFK, Newark in this area. Atlanta is a big one for us. We have about 5 kitchens there. Los Angeles, San Francisco here in the US. And then over in Europe, over in Asia, in Latin America, basically we're all over the globe, truly global in scope. And we have about 43,000 employees, but about a quarter of those guys are knowledge workers. So, so you're looking at roughly about 10, 11,000 users who are on our network. So our SD-WAN deployment, I mentioned this earlier that we've had it in place for about 5 years. And so one of the things, I know Greg and I, we've had a conversation and where we talked about SD-WAN, and where we actually, Greg says, I think we deployed SD-WAN before it got called SD-WAN. So that's one of the things we're fortunate to have quite a bit of experience with this, and it's something that truly has transformed our business. We have 221 hosts in about it's about 130 sites, and this is spread over 33 countries. Our business grows by acquisition, so we continue to add sites and we continue to transform from whatever we have at those sites. For the most part, the core network was an MPLS solution. We transitioned away from an MPLS solution and we put in the SD-WAN, and basically we have internet breakouts, we have redundancy from diverse carriers, but what it allowed us to do was obviously increase bandwidth, push out more features, and really have the flexibility to be able to adopt things like the cloud, Office 365, and just additional services. It's really agile, it's really flexible, and it's just a beautiful way for us to be able to just adapt, integrate new sites, move data centers. I mean, we've done really all of those things in the last 5 years. We continue to do that, and it's amazing that we're able to do all of these things without having to do like major network changes. It's there, it's ready, it's flexible. So the service that we have deployed, it's a managed SD-WAN solution. So we are working with open systems. That's the solution we have deployed, and it comes with a number of features. I'm going to talk about what is critical to us: the managed firewall. It's basically a centrally managed firewall with a global policy, and we have the ability to put in local rules. So we have one firewall policy globally. And what we do is we just we push that out to all of our sites. But then again, we can go in and we can change. We can do like local customizations when it comes to that firewall policy. We have a secure web gateway, which is basically a managed proxy. We have SSL scanning, and that's critical as well, right? So I mean, you think of it, a firewall obviously provides that protection, traditional firewall features. It's actually a next-gen firewall, but then you also have the proxy, which is super critical. I think, it allows us to be able to monitor outgoing traffic. We see where people are going, and if it's deliberate, or if you have malware, if you have anything in there, you have that visibility. You're able to, that level of monitoring is key. The couple additional services that we have installed, we have network security monitoring, which is an additional service from the provider, which basically it monitors network activity. So security, it's a security feature. It's over and above what you get from a traditional firewall or IDS IPS service. However, this again gives you visibility. It allows you to see again, what sites are people accessing, where's destination traffic. And it really is a correlator. It looks like, traffic patterns across your network, and it actually identifies anything that could be malicious or that could be a security concern. And then in addition, we have an endpoint detection product that is deployed on our hosts. So that's another key feature. It really ties in beautiful because this works with, you have a feature on the endpoint, you're looking at the networks are security enabled, you have the gateways with the firewall and the proxy, and it's all integrated. I think that's a key piece, right? The last thing that I would highlight here is really what we call the mission control experience. So this is a great product. And I mean, you can get great products and you could deploy them, but again, it's really how well is a product run? I mean, you have all of these tools, you will get all of these alerts. However, it is critical that you have someone taking action when these things happen. Open systems have a great support concept, which is called the mission control experience. Definitely stop by their booth, talk to them about it, but this is absolutely what makes the partnership pop. I mean, it's just critical. You call into a support team that is knowledgeable. They have knowledge on security trends. They understand your network. They understand your challenges. They understand your deployment. And really, for me, I would say when you look at an SD-WAN deployment, this is key, especially when you're talking about something as critical as security. That is, I think that's probably one of the most important things. When you think about security being integrated, the tools are one thing, no doubt, but again, the support behind that, just the people aspect, the response, that is super critical. So I'll go on a little bit. This is just something to break that a little bit, but again, truly global. We are all the way in Africa, the Caribbean. We are in Australia, Latin America. So a little bit about SD-WAN. I think we're all in here because that's something that it's important to us. We love the deployments. Again, we've talked about the different features. You could see from the poll just the benefits of SD-WAN. I mean, there's more bandwidth, you have local breakouts, you're able to, it's flexible. You have like a whole host of configuration options. There's so many things that, the benefits are numerous, but again, you have a larger attack surface. It's a key piece. I mean, it's inherent in the way the service is deployed. And with that, you just need to be aware of that. You know, we don't love that. We obviously don't love the fact that we go from, you know, a centrally managed system, something that was closed, something that was more controlled, to something that is kind of open. And that's where really you need to, that's why security is key. That's where you need to look into the security component. Again, like I said, it should be first and foremost. It cannot be an afterthought. You cannot go and do an SD-WAN and then say, oh, what am I going to do about security? Maybe I had a managed firewall. Am I going to add physical firewalls? It really should be integrated into your solution. So what I say is that, you know, understand the change, understand the implications of what you're about to do. Examine the options, do your research, speak to people who have it deployed, speak to vendors, understand what their capabilities are, right? You want a vendor who understands security. You want a vendor who is experienced in the security space. So they can actually speak to these things, they understand what the trends are, and they really understand how deploying an SD-WAN affects your security. There are obviously strengths that, if this is done properly, I mean, you can improve your security. There are a lot of strengths that you get from this. But if you don't start with security, then obviously there are some challenges as you go along with the deployment. So it should be integrated into the solution. And one of the things it should do is it should support the security stack. You should be able to lay on additional security. So yes, you should have some basic level of security built into the solution, but again, with the capability of being able to lay on additional security. So I talk about our deployment, and I said managed firewall, managed proxy, right? Those were key components. Those are integrated into the solution. What have we done? We've layered on top of that additional security components, the network security monitoring, the endpoint detection and response. And you know, and we're continuing to lay out on and integrate with our SIEM and sort of just have this be a comprehensive security solution. When I think about any IT environment, the network really is the glue that keeps it together. You have all your sites connecting, you have users coming in through your VPNs, just whatever it is you have, the network is that foundation for your environment, and that's where security needs to be built. So choose a partner that understands security. Choose a partner that will manage and monitor your environment. Choose, it has to be 24/7, and they need to have strengths and tools that you can leverage. You want a situation where you're not doing this alone. Security is not done alone. It's not something that we can, you know, it's usually there's communities, it's a collaborative effort. And that's the way you want your SD-WAN to be deployed when it comes to security. So I attempted to provide a definition of what I think a security-enabled SD-WAN is. I think what we have learned is that this is a learning farm for me. Each year I come here, find out more things, understand more things, get different viewpoints, and really it's great that, you know, when I saw this and I read security-enabled SD-WAN, I was like, well, that's interesting, you know, what does that really mean? And this is what it means to me, right? You know, it's a solution with integrated security services that protects your data, that protects applications, that protects your users. You know, again, that's key. Those are the things on your network that you want to protect and want to maintain the integrity of. So, you know, there are a number of components. Again, I've listed our components there. The components are key to the solution. But I think what is important is just the capabilities or the support that come with the solution. So the components, again, we talk about, encrypted tunnels, that's a given, that's a must. Like, next generation firewalls with central management, that's absolutely key. The secure web proxy is another one I talked about. And then application visibility and application control, right? Again, it's monitoring visibility are key pieces. When you're running a network, you absolutely need to know what's happening on the network. You need to be able to classify your applications, know what is what, and you see something that doesn't look right, obviously, that's key to starting that investigation. Intrusion detection and prevention, that's also another key piece. It's almost a no-brainer when it comes to that. And then the security monitoring on top of that. Again, you need to have some intelligence built into this to be able to correlate, to be able to understand what is really happening on your network. The monitoring and visibility aspects key to making sure that you're running a secure SD-WAN. So I think I talked about a couple of the other things that are listed in terms of what we want to see with regards to the capabilities of whoever is running that SD-WAN. Again, the monitoring, the knowledge of security operations, understanding, how exploits, threats, basically how vulnerabilities are managed, really just incident response, and just really having an idea, a good knowledge around security, security enforcement, security policies, just how security is managed. You need to have experts on staff. You need to have go-to people who can identify an issue with zero-day attacks, with all sorts of the threats and the malware we see there. You need to have resources who are knowledgeable on security that you can go to for that. And then visibility is another key thing. You want to be able to have visibility into your network. You want real-time logs. You want a management portal that's easy to go into. You get in, you have all your tools you need. You can do your troubleshooting. You can drill down. You can go in deeper and really understand what is happening on your network. And then there's also compliance and audit. You need to make sure that the solution you have actually supports these things. So these are again capabilities. These are not actual features of the product itself, but it's really around how the solution is managed overall. So this is, I took a couple of screenshots from basically our current solution and showing you the sort of the tools we have available or the visibility we have available. So we have we can see proxy traffic, we can see, how many clients, the volume of traffic, what sites are people visiting, what are they looking at, what is really happening on your network. You can drill down further to get the detail, but it's also understanding, okay, what are the hosts, where are you seeing traffic from, who is, are there any irregular patterns? Just being able to monitor these things really give you a good idea of what is happening on your network. It's your regular monitoring, but it's also security as well. So, if there's a 0-day or if there's any security event, you could see spikes in traffic. But these are the things that really help to understand, to give you a good picture of your environment. Top threats, just showing some of the things that are happening, and this is all captured on the network. This is available real time. You can go in, you can drill down, you can go down to specific users to understand what is going on, or groups of users. And then also reporting, having reporting. We have a proxy report that, this is, every month it tells us, what sites were accessed and, what, basically policy violations and all of that. So additional tools, but just your regular tools that allow you to be able to go in and again, just a lot of the work around security is just that research and building the story, the correlation. So there's never I would say that you don't have too many tools. I mean, the more you have, the better. Being able to look at things from, okay, what's happening on my endpoints, what's happening on my gateways, what's happening, in the core network. So more tools, absolutely. And the tools should be integrated into your solution. You want that single pane of glass where you can go to and pull everything up. You want to be able to just drill down in there, go in deep, take a step back. But again, the neat thing about what you want to do as well is you want to be able to have summary information that you can provide to management. You can tell the story real easily. These tools will allow you to do that. And that's really what you want to do when you want to talk about security. Just being able to pull a couple of these shots or being able to provide stats around what you're seeing from a security perspective, key in telling the story around what's happening on that network. So bottom line, really, if there's anything I want you guys to walk away with, it's really, again, understand the security implications of deploying and running an SD-WAN. It's not just a deployment that sort of runs itself or manages itself. It needs to be, there's work that goes into it to do it, right? I mean, you could get a vendor product and put it out there, but again, it's all of the monitoring, the ongoing management, for example, there are things like, patches, like just all of that proactive work that goes into maintaining the network. It's not a network that you could set up and leave. It's something that needs to be managed, and for the most part, my recommendation is that you partner with someone who understands the space and someone who does that. I mean, you want a provider that has a thorough understanding of security, absolutely key. And the solution must be integrated. The security must be integrated in the solution. That's basically a key piece of what we're looking for here. And then, again, being able to lay on additional security. Third-party tools, it could be tools, it could be security solutions from your provider, it could be third-party tools, but have that solution that allows you to be able to do that with very little effort. And pretty much think that's it. So that's basically, that has been our experience. Like I said, we have deployed this in, we have it deployed 5+ years. We have 130+ locations. It's a truly global deployment on, I think, 4 out of the 5 continents. But for the most part, that's it. So thank you, and yeah, good questions.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I see a question over there. Perfect.
How long have you been with Gate Group, and in that journey, any missteps or mistakes which you can think of in a positive way to describe how you got through them?
So I've been with Gate Group about a little close to 4 years, and really I think one of the things I would say would be just user education, really letting people understand what it is, right? And this is not even broad in terms of the end user community, but getting the IT team to understand what the solution is and really the benefits of all of that. A lot of folks would say, hey, we're going from MPLS to this SD-WAN thing, tunnels across the public internet, how could that possibly work, right? So educating your IT team is key. Getting buy-in from them, letting them understand, hey, this is tried and trusted, this is proven technology, and this is why we're doing it. Here are the benefits. So that would be the one thing I say we probably didn't do well in the beginning, and as it took a while to get traction globally from our different infrastructure managers.
Great presentation. And in your benefits, you did not mention cost savings.
So I think each over time the things change, but absolutely, the cost savings were there. I think I know we took our WAN spend, we definitely was less than half of what it was before, right? So cost savings, more bandwidth. We've done a different presentation on our journey to SD-WAN, and absolutely the things like flexibility, all of those things key, but yeah, absolutely cost savings and more bandwidth. Advantages of do-it-yourself versus managed SD-WAN, I think really, so we have, for some of our smaller locations, we have a solution deployed that we manage. The challenge is really just the resource, the compliance, and really managed, with a managed solution, you have a team that this is all they do, right? Really, I think in most IT organizations, you really wouldn't have that you don't always have the capability to be able to deploy, to be able to dedicate folks just to managing that. So it's in concert with other things, and sometimes it gets lost. So really, our preference is that this is something that we trust our provider to manage. They alert us when there are issues. It's basically something that it works a lot better for us that way.